In this section, we're going to talk about our program, or really specifically our content. And one of the things we want you to understand is that the content is really born out of our philosophy or theology of how people grow, and it's grounded and rooted in our process and the means that people grow. But it's important to recognize that the program or the content is designed to cultivate the flourishing life that people need to inhabit in order to have a fully formed life with Christ, a fully transformed life. And again, that brings people into relationship with God, brings people into healthy relationships with God's people, and brings people into clear understanding of how they participate in God's mission in the world. So our program is designed to cultivate a life of union with God, cultivate a life of healthy participation in church or community, and cultivate a life that's engaged robustly in with what God's doing in the world. So it's a cultivated life through program of learning and practice that puts them in those things. So some of our content is all designed about a relationship with God. Some of our content is designed fully to help us relate better in our context of community. And some of our content is driven directly into helping us find our place and mission, understand our sense of calling, and engage that more specifically and deliberately in the warp and woof of our life. So that content is driven by two places. Some of it's in our retreat context. We do that deliberately and synchronously out, which simply means at the same time. And most of it is driven by the online asynchronous, meaning just not done at the same time, things we do on our platform. Over the course of a year, we might engage in 12 monthly modules or programs that help us understand one specific piece of our relationship with God or our relationship in community or mission. Again, it's always in keeping with our pedagogy. It involves learning, practice, reflection, and relationship. And that content is usually confined to 1 month period of time, and then we move on to another piece of program. What you're seeing on the screen is how that might look in the context of a specific year-long process. The next slide also shows you what that looks like contextualized to a 9-month process. We change the content process and delivery system with every institution, organization, or group we're dealing with. So in educational institutions, we often use a 9-month process, more of a school year. And in mission institutions and churches, we use generally a full year process. These documents are available online for you to take a look at. And one of our responsibilities as a Fuller Formation Initiative team is to help you design a specific flow of the content for the specific group that you're dealing with. We can move certain programs in and out. We can emphasize certain kinds of content over other kinds of content. While we have 12 pieces of content that might happen in a year, we might be able to draw from 30 different pieces of content that can move in and out in a specific cohort sequence to get to the specific outcomes that institution or individuals are trying to achieve. And again, our job is to work with you as leaders to help design that material, to help meet your goals, and to fit the specific context and customize it to fit your needs. While we have lots of flexibility in our program, we almost always, in all cohorts, use the It Starts With Calling program, which involves a sense of calling and vocation and mission around the central integration question. And we almost always use the Personal Rule of Life program, which is designed, what are the specific practices that I need in this unique piece of my life to support and sustain my calling in the world. The central integration question, the personal rule of life, might be what we call signature assignments that go throughout all of our cohorts. We come back to them at the end of a cohort and while we start with them at the beginning. But nonetheless, all of this program is the most flexible piece, but designed to put people in relationship with God, their growing healthy relationships in the people of God and growing healthy participation in God's mission in the world uniquely in the way they're designed.